is Angela Cozine, and today I am going to be discussing prosperity theology. Prosperity theology, reason I'm discussing it is because it has gained prominence in very recent times. It has its roots back in the 1950s with faith healing revivals of the post-war era, and then it also took off during the 1980s with the Word of Faith movement. But it really did not take hold until around the 1990s, and I'll explain why I think that is in a minute. But first, I would like to talk about what exactly prosperity theology is. Now, prosperity theology is the belief that it is God's will at all times for his followers to have material wealth and physical well-being. It is often called the health and wealth gospel, kind of as a colloquialism, and it has become very prominent in the last, I'd say, about 20 years. Now, the reason I think that the 1990s were a time when this kind of theology was really prone to taking root was because it was during a time in our country that our economy was the best that it had been since the recession of the 1970s. And I believe there were many Christians who believed that God was blessing America, blessing them, because of our faith during the Reagan era of the 1980s. And so people were very susceptible to believe this. Now, the prosperity gospel, as it's called in some circles, has come under quite a bit of criticism. A lot of its criticism is about its kind of its work-based movements. A lot of the blessings that a person is supposed to get comes from not only faith but from doing good works, donating large amounts of money to the church, and different things like that. And they also say that it distorts the meaning of faith. They believe that in saying that having enough faith gets you these things, they turn faith into a work, so to say. Another big point of criticism for the prosperity movement is that they feel that its principles are unbiblical, saying that God never promises his followers necessarily material wealth or physical well-being in this life. In fact, quite the opposite. He promises us much hardship because the world hated him first. Now, there are several prominent figures that are associated with the prosperity movement, probably the most famous among them being Joel Osteen and Creflo Dollar. A few numbers for you about specifically Joel Osteen's church, since his is the biggest megachurch in America at this point. His reported net worth, the reported net worth of Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas, the church that Joel Osteen is a pastor of, is $56.5 million. That's quite a bit. He took over the church in 1999. There were 8,000 members when he took over the church in 1999, and there are now 43,500 members total in Lakewood Church, making it the largest church in America today. And there is a 16,000 seating capacity in his church in Lakewood, and their annual budget is reportedly $70 million. All right, so all of that to say that while there is a lot of money in prosperity theology, and it's probably not a huge surprise that is. People are willing to probably give large amounts of money if you tell them that if you give them large amounts of money, they will be blessed. So the prosperity movement has, like I said, it's taken hold in about the last 20 years, but it's come under a lot of criticism and controversy. And it has been kind of a very interesting way to see how I believe the prosperity movement is a very uniquely American part of Christianity. We believe in America we're a highly capitalistic society. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but I do believe that that it can lend itself to some rather unbiblical beliefs, such as I believe much of prosperity theology is. All right, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.